My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome back to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find the link to our playlist in the show notes for today's episode. I'm your host, Simon Fink, and welcome to episode 12, and our first of 2021. Our guest today is pop singer-songwriter Kid Alexander. She had an absolutely stellar 2020, releasing 3 great singles, including the song Can't Help Myself. In today's episode, we talk about the power of honesty in songwriting, new music for 2021, and wanting to collaborate with Kid Laroi. Here we go. Our guest today has been writing music since she was in her teens and has found success with songs like Hotel, Between You and I, and her smash single from last year, Can't Help Myself. She's releasing more music as we enter into 2021. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Kid Alexander.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you going?
Yeah, good.
It's our absolute pleasure. Firstly, I just wanted to say congratulations on such a great 2020 for you.
Thank
3
you.
massive singles from yourself, Against the Water, I Miss You, I'm Sorry, and Can't Help Myself. All 3 have been huge hits.
Thank you.
Aside from the obvious of COVID-19, how have you felt the year has been for you?
I think I've really quite enjoyed this year. It's obviously come with a lot of crazy times for everyone, but I've really tried to focus on the positives and make the best out of COVID, I suppose. So, releasing after Against the Water, releasing I Miss You, I'm Sorry during the thick of it all, I was a bit hesitant. I was like, are people even listening to music or the radio? But releasing that and seeing the response it had made me more confident than to release Can't Help Myself. And I'm glad I did release the last 2 singles because, it gave me a bit of, it made me feel great knowing that other people could resonate with my music in such a weird time. So, it hasn't been easy for everyone. So a little bit of light and upbeat music couldn't have hurt.
I agree. I think some great upbeat pop music really helped people get through some tough times this year.
That's it.
The single Can't Help Myself has really resonated with quite a few people, and it's quite a hit song. I heard that the song itself, you started writing with Dan Hume a number of years ago and then revisited again this year. What was the process of, songwriting over a few years like?
I really like it. I suppose, I think I'm the kind of artist that when I've come up with a good idea, even 5 years ago, if that resonates with me this many years later, I feel like it's going to be hopefully a bit of a timeless one that I can release. So I've always felt I wanted to finish it, and it just happened to be that we had the time between Dan and I this year to finish it. So, quite a few lyrics got reworked, the meaning of the song got reworked, but the melodies in the verse and the chorus, stayed quite similar to what we wrote 5 years ago. And I've still got a few songs that are past ideas that I feel really certain that I want to release still, put a bit more effort into and finish them off and get them out there. I quite like the process. It's almost as if I have this idea and I can't I struggle to write new music until that one's completely finished, or those ones are completely finished. So it was nice to have this see the light of day finally.
When you do revisit a song after previously having worked on it for such a long time and then allowing it to have that time in between and the break, when you do revisit it, what stands out as a quality in a song to make it worth revisiting for you to go back and work on it again, if that makes sense?
Yeah. For me, I know a song is like great in my repertoire if I enjoy listening to it. So I've written a ton of music, and I don't have any desire to listen to probably about 3/4 of it. So I'm not just going to pick a random song out of those the 3/4 bunch that I'm talking about and try and make it work. I think if it doesn't have something that I'm resonating with straight away, then there's no point. I'll just keep trying to write new music. But for me, I've got to love listening to my song for it to be released.
That's 100% fair. You're the one that has to be performing and hearing and essentially living with this song.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be able to enjoy it yourself.
Yeah, I think it can be different with a lot of artists. It's really hard for them to listen to their own music or etc. But for me, a few of my earlier songs, I wasn't absolutely in love with, but my team loved. So it was those ones I struggled listening to because I wasn't head over heels for some of them. But recently it's all been music that I'll put on and I'll walk down the street to, which I don't want to sound too self-indulged, but if I can enjoy it, I think others will too.
No, I think that's very fair. Again, you're the one who has to be living and growing with this song, so I think you have to have the ability to enjoy it as well.
That's it. Yeah.
As you just mentioned, you have been writing for the last 6 or 7 years, and you are still only, to my understanding, I'm going to say 24?
Yes, 24 I am.
That's quite a long time that you've been writing and working on music. When you started as a teenager, was it always something that you wanted to do in like being a songwriter or a performer?
It's not something that I thought as a kid thought I would specifically do. I was always creative. I always loved music, art and drama at school. I knew I was going to do something creative, but music kind of fell into my lap a little bit, and I was like, okay, well, this must be the one that I should follow. So, I always sang, and I not always was writing music, but music was probably the one that I was most talented at between drama and art and painting, whatever. But yeah, so it kind of fell into my lap a little bit, and I just followed what, I don't know, the universe was laying down for me at that time. And it was all, I don't want to say quite easy, because I know I've worked really hard, to be the musician I am, but I don't feel like I hit too many roadblocks in my journey to being where I am now, which feels good.
With having a career like that, and as you said, not having too many roadblocks, do you think it's something that if you had have encountered any issues or roadblocks along the way, that maybe it wouldn't have been followed through, or that, I guess, was there any other plan, if that kind of makes sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And now I'm looking back at it, like I have had quite a few things that could have stopped me in my tracks. But I don't know, it's always kind of worked out in the end. So whether or not that's been me pushing for it, or my team falling into place, or just other, I don't know. I suppose maybe if I didn't get the feedback from managers or labels, or, saying that they liked my music and wanted to sign me, I think that would have been a real struggle for me. I would have been like, oh, maybe this isn't my path. I've never really thought about what if there were more roadblocks. I might have probably explored other options. I've always been, I don't know. I've always been one to not push too hard for something. Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But then also, I don't know. I work hard. So I don't know. Maybe I haven't thought about it enough.
I think it's the thing where if, like, you know that you've worked hard, but if it also comes easily to you,
yeah,
I think that is a good thing. You know you're doing the right thing. You know that, like, you're in the right spot.
Yeah, I'm on the right track. That's it.
Exactly. I did want to discuss your songwriting style, as quite a few of your singles have some really honest and introspective lyrics. In pop music these days, it's not necessarily. I guess it is common. Sometimes it's here and there, but I feel like really raw lyrical content isn't as commonly found in pop in 2020 and 2021. I was wondering if, and with your permission, we could talk about Against the Water. It was a single that you released early in 2020 and was based on quite a real and, I imagine, quite traumatic experience. Again, if you're okay and willing to talk about it, Are you able to talk to us about what the song was based on, and I guess then how you came to the point where you were able to feel comfortable in turning it into a song or talking about it?
Yeah, sure. Against the Water and my single Hotel are two very special songs to me because they really go into personal moments in my life. Hotel was about me losing my sister at a young age, and Against the Water is about my now husband and the head injury, traumatic brain injury he suffered, and our relationship and through that. And it was actually quite recent, the incident, his accident, and then between me writing the song. It was actually my last session in London before I decided to kind of put music on a bit of a hold or pause to go back and help look after him because he wasn't doing so well. That one for Hotel, Hotel and Against the Water are quite different. Hotel, I probably wrote 20 different versions of what I said in Hotel, and that one took me a long time to get to the song of Hotel and the right, the right lyrics and where they were supposed to go and everything like that. That took me a while to get to Hotel. But Against the Water, I suppose maybe because it was such a fresh feeling within me and accident, it came very easily. Like I was still living it and in the moment. I went into this session and that my producer and co-songwriter, he had a little bit of a melody idea, and I'd been journaling about the accident because that's just how I process things, and I put some of the lyrics into this little melody that he had, and then we just expanded on it, and I just knew I had to write about it that day, and it all came really easily. There was no real finishing off the song afterwards, that session. Like the lyrics, the melodies, they were all there, and it just came out of me. So it was just a really different process, but such a special one to me and my husband as well. So
yeah, of course. Do you find that when you're able to write songs about situations or events like this, that is there any point where it's kind of cathartic and it helps to be able to, you're able to process it, maybe not exactly move on from it, but it helps?
100%. Yeah, it's completely therapeutic for me. And with Hotel, that, like, I said it took me quite a few songs to get to that stage. Once I did Hotel and I was like, this is the song, this is what I've been trying to say, it actually really helped me feel a bit of closure around the death of my sister. It felt like I don't know, just that a bit more closure around that whole part of my life. And with Against the Water, it's interesting because I wrote the song so close to the accident, which was therapeutic at the time, but then it wasn't until Owen had actually completely recovered from the head injury that we released the song. So that, I had the song there, but we were working on it production-wise for a couple of years. And once we released it, I had the same feeling again. I was like, oh, this feels so good to get it out. And it felt, I felt closure again about that time of my life. So the whole process, it's really interesting. And, writing a song is one thing, but seeing it go through from basic song form to recording and then production and mastering it and releasing it. The releasing of it has such a big part in the therapy for me. It's like, okay, it's like, this is finished, here you go, this is the complete version. I don't know why, but yeah, I definitely love writing about moments in my life. It's one of the best forms of therapy for me.
What was the reaction like from your husband when you played him the song and he was able to listen to it?
Yeah, he was. It's hard to think back. It was so long ago when I first played it to him, but he could have cried. I don't know. I'd like to think he cried, but no, he's so proud of me and everything I write, and he's my number one fan. So releasing, he's been my muse for quite a few years now, and I think he's used to it, and he knows when a song's about him, and Against the Water was so obvious. And I think for him though, if the song was released any earlier than it was, I don't know if it would have been the right moment for him. So that was like, he had to be okay with me releasing it when I did, and he felt like he'd recovered enough for that to be released into the world, and because it's his story as well.
Yeah, of course. Obviously with Hotel and Against the Water, they're very personal and about people within your inner circle. Have you ever written a song about someone maybe not as close to you, and there's been any repercussions or any thought of, do I release this? Do I not release this?
You know what? No, I've never actually written a song about, a friend's situation, really. They've always been, I don't know, either made up or maybe inspired by, but never really, I suppose I've never lived those people's situations and my friends or whatever. So I find it hard to tap into that. So if I am writing a song that's a bit of a...
This summer, Instacart presents famous summer flavors coming to your front door. Or pool. Or hotel.
Your grocery delivery has arrived, sir.
That was faster than room service.
No violins in the lobby.
Oh, seriously? Anyway, sit back, relax, and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Starring your favorite snacks, drinks, and more. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Rated H for hungry audiences. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions, and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
I don't know, not from personal experience, then it never really hits the note with anyone that I play it to, which is funny. But I don't know, I think any good songwriter, whether you're writing for Justin Bieber or whoever, you've got to write from a place of personal experience because that's what you know and that's what you can express. And then, just because we're talking about, I mentioned Justin, if he's listening to a bunch of songs, wanting to choose one, he'll choose the one that he connects with. But I don't know, I just feel like the songs that people connect with, they have to come from a really personal place from the songwriter. So, it's just unfortunate for my close, immediate family and friends that I've had many things with. And because I'm the songwriter, I don't know. That's for me anyway. I think I've really set the tone for my music as being quite honest and, open about my life through my songs.
I think that's good. I think that's why these songs are resonating or have resonated because people recognize a similar emotion or a story in it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I could truthfully write about that if I hadn't lived it myself. So,
yeah, definitely. One of the other songs you released this year was I Miss You, I'm Sorry. It's also an honest song, but from a more maybe repentant perspective. Was it a difficult song to write in terms of writing this apology, but also trying to keep the mood and the vibe quite poppy?
No, again, it was, personal experience. So it was another song that came really easily and quickly at the time. But I love when pop music has another layer to it. It's not just the light, fluffy, feel-good sound that you hear once you really dig into the lyrics. I don't know, I really like doing that. So it just became what it became. There was no okay, I want to write an upbeat song but with dark lyrics. It just became that. I do love doing it as well. So maybe that was more subconscious.
As you said, it does add another layer with songs like that, and it's always fun to be able to listen and I guess attempt to work out the real meaning behind it. I feel like I've had that with quite a few songs where I've been obsessed with them and the feel-good feeling that they give me immediately. And then once I do dive into it, I'm like, oh God, this just took on a whole nother meaning for me. So, I like that. It's like unwrapping a present. With the 3 singles that have come out this year, can we expect more music next year, like possibly a full length in 2021?
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, definitely new music at the top of the next year. And I don't know so much about album, but maybe a longer EP. I'm not. Yeah, we'll see. But definitely new music, and still working on stuff even through this year. So it's exciting because the next probably 2 singles are songs again that I've revisited this year. So that's been really special for me, and I think I really need to get this music out so I can open up a new place within me to write new music.
In terms of releasing new music, do you find now in 2021 that there's no real set handbook for how to release music? The record companies, I think, used to follow a format of single album and then a new single and a second album. Yeah. With Spotify and streaming now, do you think that artists can kind of follow any release format that they choose or that they'd like?
Yeah, albums aren't such a big deal anymore. I think it's more for the artist to have that body of work. I was really set on an album for so long, and now I don't know, I'm really appreciating singles and allowing people to kind of create their own album of the songs you release. So, their little playlist of their favourites. I think there's no pressure anymore to, like you said, have that format. And also times have just changed so much with touring. So single and touring is not really a thing. It's just, here's my music, I hope you enjoy it. And it's really the only way right now is releasing. So I feel like I adapted this year, and probably if COVID didn't happen, we were looking at an album at the top of this year, but now it's just, I'm happy just releasing singles and seeing how it goes. But that's it. I don't know, it's been really thrilling for me.
Yeah, that's fair. With performing kind of derailed by COVID early last year, is there any aspect in particular you're looking forward to when live shows are back properly and you're able to get back out there? I'm actually really looking forward to putting a tour together and doing it again, because I was just getting back in the swing of touring, and when it all stopped, and I was really enjoying it. So that was a bit of a bummer for me, but knowing that it'll come back eventually, and financially, it'll be able to happen financially for the band and I soon, rather than later in Australia, I'm hoping. But I am looking forward to that. Just when is the question. Of course. Keita Alexander, are you happy to talk about your playlist?
Yeah, sure.
Now, you've included 2 Taylor Swift songs on the playlist, both from her fantastic Folklore record from 2020. Yeah. Now, do you prefer folky Taylor, or do you think that she can kind of do both at this point and then jump between pop and folk, Taylor?
I was a Taylor fan when I was a kid of her, when she first did Love Story, but I was never a huge fan of her pop music when she did the 1989 stuff and the albums after that. And this was the first album that I thought, wow, she's an incredible artist and songwriter. And I knew she was a songwriter and she's very talented in creating her songs, but I never really appreciated it. But until this album came, I was pretty obsessed with this album this year, which I'm not ashamed to admit. Yeah, I haven't listened to her new one, but I don't know, I think she's at a place where her fans will digest anything, but she's really opened herself up to be, I don't know, really credible in my eyes. Like, can do it all. She really can do it all. Yeah, it was really inspiring to see it, I think.
Could you ever see yourself doing pulling a Taylor Swift and maybe doing a bit more of a folk-orientated record maybe later down the line or something?
I've never thought about it. But I don't know. It's thinking about it now, I can't really see myself doing it. I think I started out there when I was younger, but I love the production side of things. I love creating, adding to a song and really bringing it to life. Like, all my songs really do start as, I don't know, writing. I would love to do it with guitar and voice or piano and voice and have a strong song before we do add production. But production for me and adding, vocal has production, but I'm talking like bigger sounds. I really get a kick out of doing that. So right now I can't see myself doing anything else. But yeah, maybe one day.
Earlier in this conversation, we did touch on one Justin Bieber, who also makes a few appearances in your playlist. Recently, Justin has been churning out collaborations with guest features. People like Chance the Rapper and Quavo from Migos. Is there anyone that you'd love to have feature on a Kid Alexander song?
Oh God, I would actually. There is a song that I've got that I don't think is strong enough to stand alone, but it would be sick with a rapper on it. And I'm thinking now, Kid Laroi would be so fucking sick, but I didn't. He's so huge that I don't know if I could ever ask him. And I've got one of his tracks on. I've only really discovered him this year. I don't know when he started releasing music, to be honest, but do you know?
I think that, and I'm probably so wrong on this, I think he's only been releasing music since about 2019. Again, could be very wrong. I know that he has only blown up this year, though. But
okay.
Yeah, could be very wrong on that.
Yeah, right. So I'm not too late to the party. There's a few little, not little, but there's a guy in the UK. Oh my God, my brain just fully blanked. Coltrane, that I thought would be cool. I would love to do a collaboration with specifically more of like a hip hop artist. Yeah. I've never been huge into it, but I definitely appreciate that. I don't know, this year I've definitely appreciated it. My playlist this year and my inspiration from this year is really changed. It's usually been older music, from the 70s and 80s, and now I'm finding so much inspiration from today's music, which has been a fun change for me.
Did you find yourself, obviously with a lot more time on our hands this year, did you find yourself taking in more music than normal?
No, I really didn't. I actually really struggled finding songs that I liked this year. Maybe because my genre tastes had changed. I don't know what it was, because a lot of new music has come out this year. I wasn't digesting heaps. I was just really selective, and I'd actually probably turn the radio off more than I'd listen to it. Don't know why.
I think that's very understandable. Keita, were there any other songs that stood out from your playlist that you were really kind of, I guess, really loved this year?
Well, I suppose like the Claro songs on there. Again, an artist I've only really gotten into this year. Her production has been quite inspiring to me. So that's been more production sense than songwriting. I think Taylor Swift's songwriting of this record inspired me, and her lyrics. And then what else? The Lonely song by Justin was just, I don't know, it made me feel for him. I was like, oh, you poor guy. That was, I don't know, it wasn't like I could resonate personally with the lyrics, but it really gave an insight into his life, you know, whether he had a say in writing it or not. Someone did a really good job at that song. And yeah, I think, and then obviously Lana's Let Me Love You Like a Woman is just so beautiful. She's just on such a roll right now, and I think people are loving her direction. So that's given me, I don't know, Lana's music has always just really inspired me, that she does what she wants to do and people love her for it. So, and she just sticks true to that, you know. She could go, after her first record, she could have gone really pop, and but I think she's a really true artist.
She seems to, not to copy exactly what you said, but does seem to be, true artist, like doesn't really play into those trends and doesn't follow them. Will release a poetry book in the middle of records and just doesn't care. It's kind of, she kind of does what she wants. She's an artist. Exactly.
And she doesn't conform to the trend. Yeah. It's refreshing.
Yeah, exactly. Kida, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you so much for being on the show. We really do appreciate it.
It was a great chat. Thank you.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Kida Alexander for her time today. Her single, Can't Help Myself, along with the rest of her catalogue, is available on all streaming platforms. We also want to give a huge shout out to Emilie at Warner Music Australia for helping with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of Kida's picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are available. We release new shows each Thursday morning with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Until next week, cheers.